through the window softly, carrying with it the promise of laughter, wonder, and a day filled with imagination. Because today is not just another travel day. Today is the day I step into Disneyland, a place where dreams are allowed to exist freely without explanation or age limits. Before I even leave the bed, a familiar presence settles into my heart. And God's questions comes again, warm and encouraging, like a smile rather than a test. If joy was placed in this world for you to experience, will you allow yourself to feel it fully? And I pause for a moment, letting that question sink in. Because somewhere along the way, life teaches us to be serious, to be careful, to be practical. And sometimes we forget that joy itself is sacred. Today, I decide to answer with my action. Yes, I will allow myself to feel joy without guilt, excitement without restraint, and wonder without questioning whether I deserve it. As I get ready, my movements feel lighter. I choose comfortable clothes, imagining walking long paths, standing in lines filled with laughter, pointing at characters I once saw only on screen, and smiling without needing a reason. Outside, the city feels awake in a different way today, calmer than yesterday's streets, yet buzzing with anticipation, as if it knows I am heading toward something special. The journey to Tokyo Disneyland feels like a slow build-up of excitement. On the train, I see families, couples, group of friends, some wearing headbands, some holding balloons, some already smiling, and I realize that joy is contagious. Even before arriving, the atmosphere feels different, lighter, warmer, more hopeful. As the train approaches, the first signs appear: thin decorations, playful colors, gentle music floating through the air, and my heart beats a little faster. When I finally step through the gates, I pause for a moment just to take it all in. The entrance itself feels like walking into another world, one where imagination has been given physical form, where stories live in buildings, rides, and smiling characters waving from afar. I walk slowly, not wanting to rush this moment. Around me, everything feels alive: cheerful music, colorful architecture, excited voices, and the soft hum of rides moving in the distance. I see Disney characters greeting guests, waving, posing for photos, moving gently like living dreams. And I feel something unexpected rise in my chest. Not just happiness, but healing. God's voice returns softly, almost playfully now. This joy you feel, remember it. Life is not only about surviving, it is also about celebrating. I stand there for a while, watching people line up patiently for rides. and characters move gracefully, rotating, dancing, floating through the air during performances. And I realized something important. Everyone here is waiting, and yet no one feels rushed. Waiting here is part of the joy. It reminds me that some of the best things in life require patience, and that anticipation itself can be beautiful. I joined my first line, surrounded by laughter, children pointing excitedly, adults smiling like children again, and I let myself be part of it. As the ride slowly lifts, rotates, and moves through the air, my heart races, not from fear, but from pure delight. For a few moments, gravity feels optional, worries feels distant, and joy feels effortless. This is how day two begins, not with reflection alone, but with permission. Permission to laugh, to feel wonder, to enjoy the world as it was meant to be enjoyed. And as the ride gently comes to an end, I smile deeply, knowing that this day has only just begun, and that so much more magic is waiting for me. As I step deeper into Disneyland, the atmosphere wraps around me completely, like a warm embrace made of music, color, and shared excitement. Everywhere I look, something is moving. Rides rotating gently in the air, decorations swaying, flags fluttering, and characters glinting through the paths with graceful steps, waving at everyone as if they truly recognize each person individually. I spot familiar faces from childhood stories, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and others moving slowly through the crowd, stopping to greet children, bowing politely, and posing for photos with a kindness that feels genuine rather than performative. Watching them, I realized something quietly powerful. These characters are not just costumes, they are symbols of imagination, joy, and the belief that goodness and wonder still exist in the world. I joined another long line, and surprisingly, I do not feel impatient. Instead, I observe. Families talk softly, children bounce with excitement, couples laugh and take photos, and strangers share smiles without needing introduction. Waiting here feels different. It feels like belonging. The line moves slowly, but time feels lighter, stretched in a way that allows connection rather than frustration. God's vision returns, gentle and wise, meeting me exactly where I am standing. Can you learn to enjoy the process, not just the outcome? I think about my life beyond this place. The waiting, the planning, the dreams not yet fulfilled, happening, except people choosing to be present, patient, and open-hearted. The ride begins slowly, lifting us upward, rotating gently, giving me a view of the park from above. I see the paths winding like stories, the crowds moving like flowing rivers of laughter, the rides glowing in bright colors below. For a moment, I feel weightless, suspended between sky and ground, worry and wonder, adulthood and childhood. I love freely, without restraint, without explanation, feeling joy ripple through me like a reminder of who I once was and who I still am. After the ride, I wander around another area of the park, drawn by cheerful music and spinning lights. Rides fall, chairs rise and fall, characters wave from platforms, and I feel a deep sense of gratitude for being here, for allowing myself to experience this day fully rather than rushing through it. I stopped to rest on a bench, watching a parade pass by, dancers moving in perfect rhythm, floats gliding smoothly, characters waving enthusiastically. The colors, the music, the synchronized movement feel almost hypnotic, and I notice how everyone around me pauses to watch, united by shared delight. God's voice whispers again, calm and affirming. Joy is not childish, it is healing. Those words stay with me as I rise and continue exploring. I buy a small snack, something sweet, and savor it slowly, allowing myself to enjoy not just the taste but the moment. I realized that this day is teaching me something important. That joy doesn't need to be earned through struggle. Sometimes it simply needs to be accepted. As the sun begins to lower, casting a warm glow above, I feel a gentle shift in energy. The excitement remains, but it is now layered with anticipation because I know the night will bring a different kind of magic, lights, reflections, and quiet wonder waiting to unfold. As the sun begins its gentle descent, Disneyland slowly transforms, almost without announcement, into something softer, calmer, and more enchanting. Lights flicker on one by one, not harsh or bright, but warm and inviting as if the park itself is breathing out after a day of joyful excitement. The sky turns shades of gold, pink, and deepening blue, and I pause just to watch because moments like this deserve to be noticed. I follow the glow of lanterns toward the water, where boats move slowly, quietly, carrying people across calm surfaces that reflect the light like a dream. The atmosphere here feels different, about thrill, more about presence. And I stepped into line for the boat ride, and even waiting feels special now. The soft music playing in the background blends with the sound of water gently touching the sides of the boats, creating a rhythm that feels almost meditative. As I step onto the board, I sit back and allow myself to simply observe. The boat glides forward smoothly, and the world around me seems to slow down. Lights shimmer on the water, buildings glow gently, and familiar characters appear in softly lit scenes, waving, smiling, moving gracefully as if time itself has softened around them. God's question comes quietly, wrapped in calm rather than excitement. Can you be still and grateful, even in moments of beauty? I look around and realize how rare this feeling is, to experience joy without urgency, wonder without rush. The boat continues its path, floating past scenes of imagination and storytelling, and I feel a deep sense of peace settle into my chest. This is not the loud happiness of rides or laughter. This is something deeper, contentment, acceptance, and presence. When the ride ends, I walk slowly through the park, taking in the night version of everything I saw earlier. The same paths feel new now, transformed by light and shadow. Couples walk hand in hand, families move gently with tired but happy children, and music floats through the air like a quiet promise that joy can exist without chaos. I stop at a railing overlooking the water and lean forward slightly, watching reflections ripple gently. In this moment, I reflect on my own life, how often I rush from one goal to the next, forgetting to pause and appreciate what is already here. Disneyland, in its own gentle way, is teaching me to slow down, to observe, to let joy sink deeper than surface excitement. God's voice returns softly, reassuring and warm. This feeling, carry it with you. You don't need a place like this to feel wonder. As night deepens, the park grows quieter, yet more intimate. I wander without direction, allowing myself to be guided by curiosity rather than plans. I take photos not to post, but to remember. I smile without needing a reason. I feel present in a way that is rare and precise. I realized then that day 2 is not just about Disneyland, characters, or rides. It is about reconnecting with joy, learning to wait patiently, allowing wonder to exist, and remembering that life is meant to be felt deeply, not rushed through. And as I continue walking under glowing lights, surrounded by soft laughter and gentle music, I know that this day will stay with me, not as a memory of a place, but as a reminder light floating inside darkness. The air is cooler, softer, and every breath feels calmer than before. I find a place to sit, not because I am tired, but because I want to be still and take everything in without rushing toward the end. Around me, people settle down too, as if everyone senses that something special is about to happen. Music begins, slow at first, gentle, almost like a heartbeat, and the lights across the park dim just slightly. I look up at the sky, wide and open, and I feel something shift inside me. This place, built from imagination and dreams, is about to speak one last time tonight. Then the first firework rises. It explodes into color, filling the sky with light, and for a moment, everything else disappears. Another follows, and then another, each one brighter, louder, more beautiful than the last. The reflections dance on the border, on the building, and the faces of people standing beside me. All of us looking up with the same quiet wonder. God's vision comes again, deeper now, stronger yet kind. If humans can create something this beautiful from imagination, what could you create with the life I gave you? I feel my chest tighten, not with sadness, but with purpose. I think about my dreams, my plans, the travel videos I imagine, the stories I want to tell, the places I want to see. And I realize that this journey is not just about traveling to countries. It is about learning how to live fully, intentionally, and courageously. As fireworks continue to bloom and fade, I make the promise to myself. I promise that I will not let fear, doubt, or delay steal the life I am meant to live. And I promise that I will keep dreaming even when progress is slow. I promise that I will keep creating even when no one is watching it. The final firework explode in a golden glow, lingering for just a second longer than the rest, as if saying goodbye. Applause fills the air, not loud, but heartfelt. People smile, some hold hands tighter, some wipe their eyes quietly. I stand there grateful, not just for this day, but for the chance to dream at all. As the crowd begins to move toward the exit, I walk slowly, taking one last look behind me. The lights, the castle, the music, they remain glowing softly, but I know the real magic is no longer behind me. It is inside me now. ends not with exhaustion, but with clarity, not with noise, but with peace, not with an ending